Alessandro Cortini left his native Italy to study guitar at the Musicians Institute in Los Angeles. He met a guitarist from Sweden by the name Pelle Hillström, and they formed the duo Modwheelmood. Pelle Hillström went on to play guitar for the Abandoned Pools. Cortini himself went on to play for the Mayfield Four and more recently Nine Inch Nails. Cortini performed solo as Modwheelmood at the recent CMJ Marathon at the Lit Lounge. He sat down with Timesquare.com to talk about what it's like for him to immigrate from Italy and into big stardom. You're originally from Italy, so what made you decide to come to the United States?
The first reason that made me come over here was to study music. But somehow it was an excuse, if you want, just to get my butt over here and then do something else. I graduated from the guitar department, but I really haven't played that much guitar since. It was always more about writing songs than anything else, you know. So, I mean, I liked it, but it's really up to you as a student to make. It's not like you have to study that much, you know. I mean, there's a lot of material, but it's up to you. And I was like, you know, I saved all my money. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna take as much advantage as I can of this. But it wasn't as, you know, as academic as you would think. Just to put myself on a stage and just see, because that's the worst crowd, you know. Other guitar players, they go, fuck, I'm just gonna fuck now, I'm just gonna fuck up. So you can't really, you know, they're just waiting for you to make a mistake. I got bored with the guitar as an instrument to write music. Not bored, but I would always end up doing the same thing in a way, like the same chord progressions, and it kind of stopped triggering anything creative, for me at least. So I kind of needed something that made it easier for me to come up with something interesting, in my opinion, and synthesizers happened to be that trigger, you know. And I got an old MIDI Moog from my cousin that I brought back from Italy, and even though I had like the plug-in version of it on the computer, all of a sudden it's like, why should I use this, since I have it in the computer and I can save it in my song? But at the end, he gave me his, and I spent like 4 hours with headphones, with no effects, just playing that. And then from there on, I realized that it was really easy to come up with new ideas, just, you know, tweaking a machine and just playing with it. And I think that's when I stopped approaching, well, I guess songwriting with the guitar and then just using something else to trigger it. Because, I mean, there's always a factor of child attitude, you know, that has to be, at least for me, if something is like, what is it? Oh, this is cool, how does it work? You know, that's how I got into keyboards, really. Synthesizers mainly. I've never been properly schooled as a piano player or a keyboard player ever.
Okay. That would be interesting. So from that, what were some of your first bands after you graduated you were involved with?
The Mayfield Four was the first band I toured with, and they're still a lot of my main American family. They were from Spokane, and that was probably a year out of my life. And then after that, I went back to teaching a little bit more. And then 2 years ago, went on Nine Inch Nails.
How did that came about?
I saw a flyer. I was rehearsing with my band, and I saw a flyer by a vending machine in school where I was rehearsing, and I just went for the audition. And then you got to like me. And it was weird. I mean, it was weird. It was one of the few situations in which I didn't really, I can't say not nervous, but I kind of knew that I wanted to do it, even though if I thought about it, I wasn't really like, why am I doing this? You know, I mean, I'm a guitar player, but I like synths, but somehow I thought, this is it. You know, this is what I want to do. So I just stayed at home and practiced as much as I could, pretty much, and luckily that was enough.
You also worked on the project Modwheelmood with guitarist Pelle Hillström. How did you meet him?
We met in school. Right after we graduated, we just started writing together. I can't remember if we started writing when we were in school still. I think so, we might have. But we both decided to stay and just to work on that. And we're both from Europe, so somehow we had to find a legal way to stay in the country with paperwork and everything. So the easiest way, or the the most immediate way to do that seemed to be going for auditions. So we both did that, and we were lucky. We were both lucky enough to find bands that allowed us, to take care of our paperwork and to play music. He was with Abandoned Pools for a while, and he did that, and he got his visa that way, and I did the Mayfield 4 thing. But we always continued working. I mean, I kept on writing. I write all the time, and so with computers and stuff like that, so I could do it wherever I was. And this time I came on my own to do CMJ because he's in London doing another thing.
What was the experience for you doing this solo?
I don't mind playing acoustic guitar and singing, but there's not that much music that I can relate to nowadays that is just acoustic guitar and singing, unless it's old stuff. And I think to a certain extent, considering my background, maybe people expect me not to just go up with an acoustic guitar and sing. Maybe there has to be something that has to do with electronic.
So the title of the new EP just came out a few months ago, Immigrants, Enemies and Immigrants. What's the story behind that?
There's not really a story. Well, we sat down to come up with a title. I mean, I thought it sounded great as a title. But there's nothing, because people thought there was some sort of reference, to the political orientation of the current government, as far as immigration and stuff like that. But there's really nothing like that. I mean, if you read it that way, I thank you.
What plans for the near future?
We're working on a new album for Modwheelmood, and half of it is pretty much done. It's going to come out on Buddyhead too. This one's going to come out on Buddyhead too. And what else? Well, touring again with 9 Inch Nails in February. European tour for 2 months. And after that, I don't know.
You'll come back and tour the States?
I don't know yet. All I know is Europe for now. I'm sure I know that the Trent is working on a new album. So I'm assuming that we're going to be touring for that one. So it's quite prolific, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of new songs to learn.
More practice, many hours of practice.
A lot of metronome on the piano.
Thank you very much, Alessandro Cortini.
Thanks for having me.